Hello, welcome to I Be Joking. I'm your host, Ben Willett. Today you are joining me at the BMX park here in Richmond, Indiana. It has been closed for at least 20 years, and this year we're going to reopen it. Alright, so what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to take you a walk tour of the bike park. We're going to take some measurements of the features, and we're going to assess some of the work that needs to be done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and... All right, so here we have the start of the BMX park. We have, of course, power here. You can see my airborne. All right, so the start of the park is here at this concrete pad. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Here we have the start of the paved portion of the trail. Okay, so the start of the tour begins here, of course, at the beginning of the track. This is a paved section that is at least 20 feet wide, and I would say at least 100 feet long leading up to the first jump. We have a tower, or a shed. So let's begin the tour here at the start of the track. This paved section is at least 20 feet wide and at least 100 feet long. It leads all the way up to the first feature, or the first jump, tabletop. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here at the beginning of the track. Here we have a 20-foot section of paved. Okay, so we'll start this at the beginning of the BMX. We'll start our tour here at the beginning of the BMX track on the paved section. Here we're going to start our tour here, we're going to start our walking portion of the tour here at the start of the track. We have power, we have an open platform with electricity. There is a light fixture on the other side here with an outlet. There is also an outlet here. We have lighting. Now, of course, we've got to find out whether or not that's still operational and what needs to be done to get that up and running. We also have a tower. Here we have approximately 25 feet wide by 100 feet long paved section leading up to the first dirt tabletop. On our right, we have the old fence line. We have extra gravel. The first tabletop is approximately 42 inches tall. And 13 feet from peak to peak. So we have here at the launch and we have here at the landing. This is a very the landing is very gradual, so a very nice landing, which then leads us into our next tabletop. This one is much steeper, more of what we call a kicker. And it is approximately 4 feet tall. And it's approximately 11 feet from the tip, the launch, to the landing. And again, a very gradual landing. This berm is at its peak approximately 5.5 feet tall over here. And from what I understand, under this topsoil, this is actually paved. And you'll see some evidence of that in the next berm. As you can see also, there's very little erosion. Of course, with the pavement, you wouldn't have any, so that makes sense. And it is, I mean, this is a gorgeous bowl berm. Here we have a small tabletop leading out of the bowl. It is approximately 2 feet tall. 9 feet peak to peak. So here we have a nice little kicker and a nice gradual landing. This is great for beginners. And one of my favorite features, I love step ups, so I like this. You have a jump that where the landing is taller than the jump itself. It is approximately 2 feet at the start and about 3 feet at the landing, and and 11 feet peak to peak. And I am just thoroughly impressed of how well nature has kept this place. I mean, there is almost no erosion. With this tabletop here, you can see there's a small dip, and this, I would imagine at some point, was actually a hip jump. And a hip jump would be where the inside of the turn, and you can see up here, would be lower than the outside of the jump. And so we would have more of this type of angle. And that would be what I'll do with this feature, or will do with this feature, when we start to renovate. So we have a very gradual jump here. It's probably about 28 inches tall. And about 13 feet from peak to peak. And like I said, we will put in a lot more dirt here on the outside, and that actually does two things. You can take the short side, or you can take the long side and have a much more aggressive angle for those who are, so that is from this peak to this peak is about 13 feet. When we go to rebuild this function, we're going, okay, so that 13 feet is from that peak there to this peak here. Like I said, we're actually going to increase the dirt, or add dirt here on the outside of this tabletop to make this into a hip jump. And then that way, if you are a beginner, you can take the inside line where it's a much shorter gap, and not really a gap, this is the tabletop, versus the outside. Here we have, again, another gorgeous berm. I mean, this thing is easily 6.5 feet tall at the peak. It's 6.5 feet. And there is the evidence I was referring to with the pavement. And that also makes a lot of sense. I can actually see peaks of pavement here, so there will be some repair that needs to be done. We'll probably have to, at some point, rent a grinder, which I've used before. Very effective. It's slow, but very effective, and also very dusty. Another glimpse of it there. Of course, remove all of this. We have a roller here. Rollers are used to gain momentum for the next set of features. This is the other side of the tower. The tower has 4 openings. And again, we have the lighting at the top. We also have a light over here. Most of this lighting is for the adjacent soccer field, but as you can see, there are lights pointing this direction. And we even have a flag post, so that would be fantastic. This feature also is very gradual, and if you're not familiar